On January 5th, Grant comes back home and he's allowed to stay there, but he's going to have some new rules that Chad, his dad, put in place. Grant would not be allowed to use the internet, and they were going to take away his computer out of his room. Also, that he needed to get a job and start paying off some of the debts that he owed. So this is what Chad is telling Grant, which sounds like what most parents would do, usually to like a teenager, but Grant is almost 30 years old. The biggest and the most upsetting rule, Grant was going to have to cut all ties with Sylvie. So when Chad tells Grant, you can't talk to Sylvie anymore, I think that's at the moment when he informs Grant, hey, we actually contacted her. And we told her the truth. And in my mind, that's probably the moment that really just set Grant off. I mean, that would be just embarrassing, and he's probably angry because he thinks he's in love with this woman. So Chad is trying to explain to Grant that you're literally putting a stranger that you've never met over your own family, and that now the family is financially struggling because of this. And just trying to get through to Grant to open his eyes. Now Grant agreed to these rules in order to stay in the house. Margaret, Grant's mother, she was more sad, but time went on and Grant was seeming to follow the rules, but it didn't really last long. I guess Grant would go to Margaret, his mother, ask if he could use her phone because her phone could access internet, and Margaret would allow him to use her phone and talk to Sylvie on Twitter. On January 24th, Chad found out that Grant was using his mother's phone to still talk to Sylvie and told him that he needed to get out, that he had ruined his retirement, and to just leave. Chad then left for work. Grant, he was, packing a small bag because he was going to leave. And then Cody was at work as well, receiving text messages about what was going on back at home. Around 9:15 p.m., Cody was done with his shift at work. He told his girlfriend that he had to go home and, quote, deal with stupid shit, end quote, aka the family drama thing that was happening, and he went home. On Friday, January 25th, 2019, the sheriff's office got a call from one of Cody's friends and coworkers. He told the dispatcher that he was concerned because Cody hadn't showed up for work, plus Cody wasn't responding to any text messages. Police went out to the home to perform a welfare check at 9:17 a.m. They knock on the door and they get no answer. The cars were in the driveway, and they also noticed that all the windows downstairs were covered with paper, so you couldn't even see in the windows. They were able to use a knife and open the lock on the door to the master bedroom, and then the police, walk into the home, and then they see the body of Chad lying on his back on the kitchen floor with blood just all around him.